There was a candle that stood in the window of a stone tower, burning alone at the edge of a great forest. It had been lit by a traveler many years ago, and since then, it had never gone out. Through storms and silence, through seasons that came and went, the flame stayed alive, small but steady, pushing back the night. The candle believed this was its purpose: to burn, to keep the darkness away, to never, ever stop. But with each passing year, the wax grew shorter. The candle could feel itself shrinking, melting slowly toward the base. And as it burned, a fear grew inside it, a fear deeper than any shadow it had ever faced. What would happen when the wax was gone? When the flame had nothing left to hold it? When the darkness finally came and stayed? The candle tried to burn slower. It dimmed its light, rationed its flame, hoping to last a little longer. But this only made the tower colder, the window darker, and the fear did not leave. One winter night, when the candle had burned down to almost nothing, a wind blew through the forest. It swept through the cracks in the tower walls and made the flame flicker wildly. The candle trembled, certain this was the end. But the wind did not blow it out. Instead, it carried something through the window. A moth. The moth circled the flame once, twice, drawn to the warmth and light. The candle wanted to warn it, to tell it to stay back, that fire was dangerous. But the moth only hovered closer, resting on the window's edge, its wings glowing gold in the light. "Why do you come so close?" the candle whispered. "I could hurt you." The moth folded its wings. "I have been flying in the cold and dark for hours. I thought I would not survive the night. Then I saw your light from across the forest. It brought me here. It saved me." The candle flickered in surprise. "But I am almost gone. My wax is nearly finished. Soon there will be no light at all." The moth tilted its head. "Do you see that?" It gestured with one delicate wing toward the windowsill. The candle looked down and, for the first time, noticed what had gathered there over the years. Wax. Dozens of drops of wax that had melted and fallen, hardening into small pools along the stone. And in those pools, something impossible. Seeds. Seeds carried by the wind, by birds, by time itself. They had landed in the warm wax and taken root in the cracks between the stones. Tiny green shoots were growing there, fed by the light, sheltered by the warmth the candle had given without knowing. "You think your purpose ends when the flame goes out," the moth said softly. "But look what you have already done. You gave warmth when I needed it. You grew life in a place that was barren. You were a guide in the darkness for travelers you never saw." The candle stared at the small green shoots, at the moth resting peacefully in its glow, at the window that had stopped feeling like a prison and now felt like a gift. "I was so afraid of ending," the candle said quietly. "Ending is not the same as disappearing," the moth replied. "You will become part of everything you touched." The flame burned a little brighter then, not with fear, but with something softer. Understanding. Peace. When the last of the wax finally melted away and the flame slipped into darkness, the tower did not stay dark for long. The moth flew out into the world and told other creatures about the light in the window. Travelers began to come. They brought new candles and placed them where the old one had stood. And beneath the window, the small green shoots grew into vines that climbed the tower walls, blooming with flowers that glowed pale and luminous in the moonlight, carrying forward a light that no darkness could erase. The candle was gone, but what it had given remained.